Hey guys, it's Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, and in today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about how we were able to help a tropical smoothie franchise get get cordless IP phones for $1.69. So again, today's video is we're going to talk about how we helped the tropical smoothie franchise get IP phones for $1.69 each, as well as help them set up their service. I'm going to talk about this franchise as far as obviously the cheap phones, how we did it, how we were able to convince the service provider to do this, but also talk about the system we set up for them and the benefits of the system and also some of the savings on their monthly bill for the locations. So anyways, this was a tropical smoothie franchise out of Richmond, Virginia. The one that we've been working with actually has, at the time of this video, about 5 locations in the Virginia area, in different areas out of the Richmond, Virginia metropolitan area. When they originally came to me, they were using Comcast Business for their analog phones across multiple locations. They were out of contract, so the good news there is we didn't have to deal with any hefty early termination fees or anything like that. When they came to me, they basically said, hey, it's not so much that we think we are or we aren't paying too much for our phone service. It's more of we're opening up a new location, which is going to be our 5th location. So we're going to need internet and we're going to also need a phone system, of course. But we want to look at some options. And they basically came to me from the angle of, if whatever option we look at is cost effective, we'd like to also roll this option out to the other existing 4 locations. They also added that we're going to probably also be adding a 6th location, which is another franchise that we're going to be buying out and turning into a tropical smoothie, and possibly a 7th location before the end of 2019. So when we looked at what they had, these guys already knew about Vonage Business. So we said, okay, what do you guys think about Vonage Business? They said, we've already done the research. We like them. We went to Vonage Business and we looked at what the cost would be. Now, for those of you who don't know, at the tropical smoothie locations, for those of you who are watching this that are tropical smoothie franchise owner that are thinking, maybe it's time to upgrade, you already know that the average tropical smoothie only uses 2 phones in each location. Cordless is ideal at a tropical smoothie simply because they need mobility. You've got the back office part at every tropical smoothie that we've ever worked with nationwide that has like a back office that typically has a computer, that runs the finances and has like employee records and things like that, and has like a printer and all that stuff. Then you've got a location up front that is near where the cash register is, where the cafe is, where obviously the front area or cafe attendant or attendants need to have a phone that has mobility. So for the tropical smoothies that we've seen nationwide that we've worked with, we found that it doesn't make any sense to have a desk phone. Maybe in the back office, but ideally it's better for them to have cordless phones throughout so that they've got mobility, especially in the front areas where the cafe and the tables and seating arrangements and all that is. So anyways, when we talked to Vonage Business, we went to them and we said, hey, these guys are looking at cordless phones. We're going to need 2 extensions per location. What phone do you recommend? And that's when Vonage said, well, the newest, latest, and greatest, best cordless phone that we've got right now that seems to be most popular is the Yealink W56P. Now, for those of you who are wondering what the Yealink W56P is, this video is not so much about that phone. This video is more so about how we were able to cut such an insanely attractive deal on these phones for this customer. So for those of you interested in what the Yealink W56P is, we've got another video that we did that's on a full review of this phone, which I'll tag in this video in the cards, as well as I'll also put a link below this video for a full review on that phone so you can learn more about that phone and so on and so forth. If you are a tropical smoothie watching this, interested in that phone or another business that could utilize cordless IP phones. So anyways, when we went to Vonage, we basically said, hey, back to what I was saying, what phone do you guys think is the best phone for this scenario? And that's when they said the Yealink W56P. Now, the Yealink W56P resales for approximately about $150, but I believe you can get it from Vonage Business Wholesale for about $125. The people I was talking to at Tropical Smoothie didn't really like that. At first, they came to me and said, hey, what free phones can you get us from Vonage? Because we've seen your videos on the free phones from Vonage and other voice over IP carriers. And that's when I had to break the news and tell them, hey, I don't know of any cordless phones that are free, but because you guys have multiple locations and because you're opening up new locations, let me swing your weight. Let me swing some of that leverage that you guys have got, some of that buying power, and go to Vonage and see what they say. So I went to Vonage Business and I said, hey, these guys only want to do one location for now, because even though they like Vonage Business, they like what they've seen and what they've heard, they don't want to just roll out a phone system like that across multiple locations and maybe run into problems. They'd like to test drive Vonage Business in one location, see what it's like, and then maybe look at moving it to the other locations. And so they said, okay, if these guys are really serious about going on an agreement with the one location, and they're really serious about looking at switching over the other locations within maybe 6 months or less, we'll work them out a deal on the phones that, that they kind of can't refuse. And so that's when Vonage said, hey, if they do this location, for now, we'll work out the two W56P cordless phones for $1.69 each. I asked Vonage, I said, well, what if these guys decide to switch the other locations later? Will you work out that deal, or what will we do? And they kind of gave me an unofficial disclaimer saying, we're always willing to work out some special deals for some larger accounts. So we'll try to see if we can do the $1.69 per phone deal. When these guys are ready to switch over the other locations or add more locations, we can just look back to the old contract and see, okay, this is legit. Somebody was able to work this out. But we'll definitely be able to work them out a deal on the phones that is better than regular price, definitely significantly better than the regular, $150 per phone. So that's what we did. So at the time of this video, these guys are actually active at the one new location, at the location number 5, with the phones for 2 phones with Vonage Business on a contract, and then the phones at $1.69 each. I've been in contact with Vonage saying, hey, they got a 6th location coming up, and we're still interested in switching over all the other 4 locations out of the total of 6. And Vonage is still basically saying that at this time of the video, they will work them out a deal where the phones are definitely less than $5 per phone, because it's a large franchise, and because they're basically saying they won't switch to another carrier for the other locations. So anyways, there's a couple of other things that I wanted to throw out there that we were able to do for this tropical smoothie. This tropical smoothie was basically paying for, they were paying for 2 phone lines through Comcast for almost like $36 to $40 a line at each location. What we did for this location, which we plan on doing for all the other upcoming locations as well, is we were able to, with Vonage Business, get them $24.99 per month per extension. So they've got 2 extensions. So you figure approximately $25 per extension, right? And they're basically paying for 2 extensions. So they're coming out to, before taxes and all that stuff, somewhere in the ballpark of about like $50 a month. With their previous Comcast that they have in all of the locations for the phone lines, they're paying about $36 to $40 per line per month. So if you do the math, these guys are paying somewhere in the ballpark of about, I guess for the sake of conversation, we'll say about like $75 to $80 per month for just 2 basic phone lines with Comcast. Whereas with the Vonage Business setup we set them up on, they've got 2 extensions, and the Yealink W56P is basically a 4-line phone. So that's a total of 8 lines at each location going through Vonage Business for an actual phone system with a better phone. So when you do the math, these guys are able to almost quadruple their line capability at this location, and which will eventually be at each location, but they're saving somewhere in the ballpark of like $26 to like $35 per month on what they were actually paying before. So not only were we able to get them the phones, which are normally $150 phones, we got them for $1.69 each. We were able to get them a much better phone system with much better feature set than what they had with Comcast, saving almost like about $36 to $40 a month per location. So that's huge there. So the one thing that I want to throw out there for anybody that's watching this video that is a franchise or a Tropical Smoothie or some other franchise is, You've got name recognition. I can use that name recognition with not only Vonage Business, but with any carrier to basically say, hey, these guys are a franchisee. They're going to be in the future, obviously, buying out other franchises or opening up new locations. What are you going to do for these guys to make it attractive so that everybody wins, so that they get a deal that, you know, is really, really attractive, and that the voice over IP service provider can kind of give them a deal that's so attractive that it entices them to say, hey, you know, for all of our new locations, we're going to go ahead and endorse this voice over IP provider, and we're going to try to roll it out across all locations. The other nice thing about that is if you roll out the same provider across locations, you have uniformity and you have the ability to be able to connect locations as if they're all one location. Where, you know, whereas that be transfer calls between locations, conference calling between locations really easily, and so on and so forth. The list goes on and on and on. One of the other things that, one of the other reasons that we were able to do this is because of opportunity size. By going to the provider and saying, hey, this is Tropical Smoothie, who doesn't know what Tropical Smoothie is? That's a huge franchise. There's plenty other huge franchises out there. So being able to go to the provider and say, you know, this is a big franchise, let's use this as a test ground and put your system in there. And if they like it, they'll obviously roll it out or talk to other franchise owners who will roll it out. That's some leverage there as well. One of the other things that we were able to do, and this is me speaking to you guys out there that are franchises or that are business owners in general, is we were able to get an end of the month promotion. When we looked at this deal, it was somewhere, I want to say, around the 24th or the 26th of the month. And that's when Vonage, the provider, came to me and said, hey, tell them if they sign the deal before the end of business on the 30th or 31st of the month, we'll give them these phones at this price and we'll give them a monthly cost of this. I do remember on this particular deal, Vonage waived the shipping cost on the phones, but they specifically told them the shipping cost on the phones would only, these guys were paying like $1.69 per phone, but the shipping cost, which is mandatory with Vonage and which is around the same with all voice over IP carriers, is around like $12 to $15 for shipping per phone, for shipping and internal provisioning to pre-configure the phone in-house. So Vonage was like, if they sign the agreement before the end of this month, we'll go ahead and give them free shipping and provisioning on the phones. So this particular Tropical Smoothie franchise got that as well. So keep that in mind as well. A good time to contact me is, you know, middle of the month or end of the month, because if you wait until the end of the month, a lot of these voice over IP providers will offer deals that are just unheard of because they want to hit their numbers and get those kind of deals and get the deal closed before the end of the month. So everybody wins. You get a great deal, and then the salesperson I'm dealing with at whatever provider it is gets to basically close out and have a bang out month on their numbers for management or whatever it may be. So let's see. So anyways, that pretty much concludes this video on how we were able to get a Tropical Smoothie franchise, a $1.69 voice over IP cordless phones, and it's actually a really nice phone. Again, that video is for that review on that phone is going to be in here, but also get savings on such a small deal by being able to swing your weight and say, hey, even though this location is a small deal and we don't have a lot of phones, we have a lot of pull. We're connected with other franchise owners. We may be opening up other locations. It's a way for you to be able to show to the voice over IP service provider that you mean business, even though you may only be a small outlet or small outfit. So anyways, Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, your go-to guy for the best deals on business phone and internet service nationwide. If you're watching this and you're a franchise, whether Tropical Smoothie or another franchisee, reach out to me, let me hook you up and find out not only which voice over IP service provider is best for your business and has the best features, but has the best deals and promotions going on. I'll chat with you guys again in the next video.